fucking CPU is, man, they are. CPU is fucking cranking, and I'm not even doing anything. There are no programs or anything running. It usually only happens when someone's in your shit. Anyway, I feel like my absenteeism is leaving people yearning for anything AMC. You guys realize that this thing is literally doing everything I said it would, what I would do if I was them. And this all happened, and then this happened, because this was your moonshot, this was your opportunity, but unfortunately a bunch of YouTubers convinced a lot of other people and a bunch of other wealthy people to get a bunch of these shares back when they were cheap as fuck, and then a bunch of poor people came in when it was around $10 and then bought a bunch and propped it up for them so that they could fucking sell it while we held the level of support, and then buy back in and then sell it again, because had all of them held, we would have trapped them. There would have been an actual MOAS, but they sold. Hence why we never own more than 80%. There's never no verifiable evidence to say that we own more, and everything I look at says that we own even less than that. And you need 100+% of the float in order to have the infinite squeeze glitch, which literally all of these high numbers that you hear about are based on the assumption that at some time the community will own all of the shares, all of them, and then hedge funds will have to come knock on our doors, door to door, and say, please, sir, can I buy a share of your AMC? I'll give you $100,000 for the one. Yeah, yes, because that's reality. That's going to happen. Motherfuckers can't even hold anyway. People are greedy by nature. It's just the way it is, and they've already demonstrated that they are not going to hold everything. No one is holding for you to hold for them. There was a whole fucking 3 weeks in July and in the beginning of August of people putting videos out telling you how to fucking buy and sell shares immediately, like just day trading them. I told you people were doing that before they even started making the videos, because I could tell, I could see it in the movement, because I watch this shit so much. And I consider myself a market analyst, but definitely an AMC analyst, and a legitimate one who watches it daily, has been watching it. Another thing, you all don't understand how I'm able to be accurate with some of my, I don't want to just call them hypotheses, my theories, but my educated guesses are because I have all of the factors in play, all the variables you need to conduct this experiment, including spending my own money in times where it's bearish, to see exactly how options are acting and reacting to the environment. It's how I was able to tell shit was turning around before it actually did, about 5 days before it did, because I put my money in there and I document this shit. I study it. And it was a very expensive experiment. Still is a very expensive experiment, which is why I've had to pull back. I don't have the fucking money to continue doing that shit anymore. And for those who started buying options when I was talking about it turning around and explaining options to people, and you all made money during this time frame, and then you've lost some money during this time frame, that's what happens when you first start trading options, because you're not aware of how to play bull and bear cycles. And it's very, very difficult to make money with options anyway, unless you're experienced or you're holding them long term, 6 to 8 weeks minimum. Minimum is where your expiration needs to be. Doesn't mean you have to hold them that long, but that's where your expiration should be if you are not experienced enough to swing them or day trade them. And trying to do it in a bear cycle, I mean, shit, you're going to end up losing everything you gained in the bull cycle if you're new to that shit. I think we're going to have a bit of the bull cycle's beginning. And this is, again, I've predicted all this. I said this is exactly what they would do, because this is exactly what I would do if I was in this situation and I needed to get out from under it, as long as time is on my side, which they have the rest of the year all of their options don't expire until January. The new infrastructure changes don't take place until January. They have until the end of the year to keep running this program. And I promise you, even assuming we have 80% of the shares, there's at least 40% extra, at least. There's at least 120% at least. And that 40% of shares is very, very easily recycled. You could easily recycle positions to short and then scare people out and make more people sell and then close. And this is what I need you all to listen and understand. When you hear these guys talking about, oh, they haven't covered, oh, the shorts haven't covered, oh, they're not covered, you need to stop listening to them because yes, they have. Yes, they have. And if you know anything about the market, how it works and what these terms mean, covering just means they're providing the liquidity necessary to not get margin called. That's it. Closing the position is what we need. That's what you're looking for. Closing positions, actually buying the shares back, closing out the loan. That's the difference, and it's a huge difference. Anyone out there saying, well, they haven't covered yet, shorts haven't covered, they haven't covered yet, they didn't cover. Yes, they have. They've been covering the whole fucking time. That's why there hasn't been gigantic moonshots and all that, and that's why there wasn't one here. But assuming, again, that we own just 80, there's at a minimum 40% extra, and it is plenty to recycle and keep this thing running. That's what I would do if I was in that gigantic position. Explained it in one of my videos back in July. That's what I would do, and that's what I expect this to do. You just, as long as you got the time, you can get out from under every fucking position that they had. Every single one with enough time. And there ain't going to be no moonshot, at least not this year. And if the infrastructure doesn't really change much next year, there isn't going to be one. It's just going to be a steady leg up. It's going to be a couple little trips to the moon. To the stratosphere at least, like this. It'll just be there and then back down. That's all. That's it. There's a very good possibility that this hits the bull cycle. We get this coming week green for a few days, and then in turn another 5 to 7 trading days of bearish pressure before it actually hits the run, the bull run, which means this could easily go back down into the mid-low 30s before it hits any sort of big move. And another thing you all need to pay attention to, the people saying that we 7x'd back in June. We did not. We did not. This shit basically doubled. Basically, that's what it did. We had a whole trading week and more of a move upward before it actually ran. We were at $32 before it ran into the 70s. It would not be far off to believe that that may be the plan here again, to push this down again right before a run, similar to what happened here, and it get pushed down to 32. And then we have another little gap up that's in the fucking 70s somewhere, and that's your next moonshot. That's it. And if you're sitting here holding your fucking positions because you believe in imaginary shares that no one can track or trace or anything that are going to be covered, and you're sitting there at 70 some dollars like I was because you believed all the bullshit that was said back here that is now, I mean, it's been still being said. All the same shit is getting said, been said, all the shit with shares, everything, all of this shit. Everything has all been said. It was all said back here. This is why I transferred my shares from TD, Webull, and Robinhood to see if there was a discrepancy, because people were saying that back then. Oh, my shares aren't going. Oh, we're having issues. Oh, they can't track my shares. They can't get the positions filled, blah, blah, blah. And all 3 of mine transferred with no fucking problem. None. All 3 brokerages like that transferred. And all the shit being said, like, this is something I need you guys to understand. If there is billions, because that's what everyone's philosophy is and their theory, that they have shorted this into the billions, there's billions of shares out there. Well, there's originally only 500 million, a little more than 500 million. So if there is billions shorted, Well, then that would mean this motherfucker would be weighed. It would be so down dirt, fractions of a penny, if they had shorted billions. And then even for those who are like, well, no, we bought them all up. Well, then if that's the case, and we bought them all up, and we have billions of shares, it would be very, very easy for Adam Aaron and whoever to come out and say, oh, well, holy shit, guess what, guys? You don't own 80%. You own 4,000% of the float because there's that many fucking shares. The whole hold for me, I hold for you thing was a scam. It was a scam that the Trays and the other rich people that were in this shit at $5 and whatnot used to lure in poorer folk like myself and millions of others to create this move for them to get shorts to have to close positions. And then we held the level of support, still holding and holding for them while they're fucking selling out and buying more and then selling out again and making a bunch of money off of our backs, literally holding this thing up. And that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what the fuck happened. If they would have held like they said they would, that would have been it. With all the FOMO, everything coming in, we would have had well over 100% all the shit they were shorting, and they wouldn't have had time to come up with whatever bullshit they came up with, routing it off exchange, dark pool, whatever the fuck they figured out. They wouldn't have had time to. But all your favorites fucking sold. And again, people don't have an understanding of the market. They don't understand how the market works. They don't understand how short positions work. They don't know where they come from. None of that shit. And you have people out here saying, well, there's no more shares left. Oh, they said there's no more shares left. Oh, the head said there's no more shares left. Well, then that means they have to go to the market maker. No fucking shit. No shit. Which is why my point is none of what you believe matters. Even if we had 100% at this point, it does not matter. Market makers are given the authority to create shares. They're given that. They can create, just like God, shares that do not exist, that were never issued for the purposes of liquidity. That's how they make sure you get your share the day you buy it, even though they haven't purchased it yet. They haven't gone out and located it yet. They create it, give it to you, and you're holding something that right now is technically worthless. Everyone's back to well, nothing's on the lit exchange. They're not going to the lit exchange, blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker, we knew that shit back here. We've known all. This is all old information being recycled and reworded to sound different, but it's the same fucking shit. It's the same shit. Oh, there's no more shares. There's always shares. And there always will be, because market makers can create them. And guess what? Once again, if I had a hedge fund, a market maker, and a tech company, this is the fucking web I would weave. This is exactly what's going on. It's exactly what I would have done if I was in that position. Which is how I've been able to fucking predict it. Like, I mean, damn near to a T. I told you guys, 6 to 8 weeks when we started the bear cycle. That's what we're looking at before the next real big move. And what's it going to do? It's going to go back down to the 30. It's going to hang out between 35 and 45. That's the real fucking shebang-a-bang throughout the cycle, throughout the 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to go down. We're going to kick it down there. We're going to have some days where it pops up over 40, maybe even close to 50. It'll go back down. On average, at the end of the cycle, this is where we'll be. This will be the average closing price at the end of the cycle will be about 40. Hey, motherfuckers out there still stealing my shit. Some other do, oh yeah, we're in that 36, 38 region. We ain't no fucking 36 to 38 region, dude. Like, what are you talking about? We were just in the 40s 10 days ago. Oh, we finally got out of that 36, 38 region. Shut up. Just stop, man. I'm really sick of this shit. Even Trey now. Everyone now, every single person now, everywhere, is literally taking my theory and putting their own spin on it and trying to be like, oh, well, this is where we're at, and look at what we're doing here, and look at what we're doing here. Meanwhile, back in August, when this thing first started to turn around, everyone said we were in May. Oh, we're back in May now. We're in May. We're in May. This is May again. And then that month went by, and we get to September. Oh, yeah, now we're in May. This is really May. This is what happened back in May. We're in May. Now September's gone. We're in October. Oh, now this is definitely May. Well, shit. If they keep saying it, they're going to be right eventually. I told you guys back here we were in the end of March, around April, and that's exactly where we were. That's exactly how I knew what this is going to do. And we are going to be heading into May here soon. I'm not quite sure if the 4 additional green days in this cycle were taken from this 5 and added to here. I don't know yet. But either way, I still expect the bull cycle to begin. And next week we should be, flirting with the 40s pretty regularly. And there'll be some days where it kicks into the 30s, and we should have a day where it makes a leap towards 50 and comes back down. But either way, it's going to flutter around that zone, the upper zone now. And then it may get kicked back down into the 30s here. I don't know yet. I'll have to wait till next week to see. And it might get kicked down to the 30s again for this section here, maybe 5 days or so, a trading week of some bearish movement, but it'll have some upswings in it too before it actually hits the bull run, before we actually hit that cycle of big momentum, big moves up. That's what should happen as long as this still follows suit with what it's been doing, barring some sort of switch that gets flipped and they shut this shit off and manually take control and do some blatantly obvious bullshit, which is very possible, but I don't think so. I think this is where we're at, man. Like, this is where we're at. And I understand a lot of people getting frustrated because they don't understand options, and some people started trading them when I was telling you about them in here, made your money, and just completely weren't ready for a bear cycle. It's very difficult to trade options in a bear cycle. It's super difficult, very stressful, especially if you're watching it throughout the day. It's very, very hard. That's why the best way to buy options is look for historical lows, try to get in at a historical low and make sure it's 6 to fucking 12 weeks out. And you let it ride. You don't ever look at it again until you get a notification that, hey, that bitch is up 10%, 20%, whatever. Or you check on it weekly or something, see how it's doing. You watch it daily, you make mistakes like I did. I jumped into AMC this week because based on my own DD, I knew this week would see the 40s. And I knew it was going to be the end of the week. I knew it was. And I wasn't sure if it was going to go back down to 35. I wasn't sure. And it went down to 36. And I fucking got out of it, held it Monday, Tuesday, just went down, and then Wednesday kept going down. I was like, fuck, they are going to push it to 35, 34, somewhere around there. Get out of it, and it immediately starts going up. And that's just the bane of my existence with the AMC. I'm always a day or two early or a day or two late. I haven't been able to pinpoint the day. So that's not my goal anymore. My goal now is to pinpoint the week that I believe this motherfucker's gonna, because had I left my position alone that I got Monday and did not fucking sell it Wednesday just to turn around and buy another one today, I'd be sitting pretty. But instead I'm still sitting at a loss on AMC overall this week, even though the position I have now is in the green. But we're getting ready to enter a bull cycle again, so be careful with options. There's going to be some volatility, I'm sure, but you need to just have faith in your plays. That's it, and I do too. I'm guilty of everything I tell you guys not to do. I am. It's why I tell you, because I make the mistakes too, and I don't want you to make them. And it's more so, it's very difficult for me, obviously, because this is my income. This is what I have to do to generate money, and trying to do it in a bear cycle is it's nerve-wracking. It really is. I can't even explain to you how nerve-wracking it is. But we're heading into a nice bull cycle, and you see, I bought a lot of positions out to November. And that was my thing. I knew a bear cycle was coming, and I wanted to take some positions, which I probably should have waited, but you never know how long the bear cycle is going to be. And even here, it tricked me. Here, I thought it was going to start. I thought it was going to be a quick bear cycle. Like I told you, maybe we're going to have a short red period, because it looked like that's what it was going to do. We damn sure didn't. And then that kind of tricked me into buying some positions prematurely. So now I have to wait and pray and hope. That mid-November they fucking uptick. we'll see what happens with that. But either way, AMC's getting ready to be back in a bull cycle here. Should be. But again, don't be going all in, because there should be another red set of red days coming too. So I fully believe that the next few trading days should be nice. Should be pretty good days, pretty green days for the most part, I would imagine. But there's going to be, another stretch after that that's going to be probably back down into the 30s. It depends. I'm expecting a pretty significant move soon, and depending on how big that move is, if it goes up and over 50, like it did back to like 51, 52, the red cycle may be down to 45. Like that may be where they push it down in between 40, 45. Instead of back under 40 towards 35. I don't know yet. Again, that's shit you can't really predict. You have to watch it intraday and see how it's reacting. But yeah, anyway, to sum it up, guys, the only thing I don't want anyone to do, I don't want anyone to do what I did. I do not want people just sitting here thinking like they're. So I encourage everyone to go back and watch people's videos, because all these people you all watch, I've been watching longer than you. I have been watching longer than you, and I let all of them, and I mean all of them, lie to me and make me believe something that was so far from true. And I had to get out of it. I got lucky. I was able to pull myself away entirely, but not after suffering significant losses. I mean, overall, it wasn't a loss. I still gained in my position, but again, the amount that I lost was, detrimental to me. It could have changed my life right now, but I allowed them to believe me I was going to have money to change my life forever. And that's the difference. If you see money that can change your life right now, you need to take it. You need to take it. Stop sitting there holding your breath and waiting for the money that's going to change your life forever. Fuck that. Seriously, fuck that noise. Worst case scenario, this bitch goes back up to like 70, and that's where it's floating. Please take at least 3/4 of your profits. Please at least take 3/4. Leave 25% in. That should be more than enough, all gains for you, and still have gains with the, that could sit there and possibly make more. And I mean, if it keeps running, if it looks like it is going to fucking moonshot, then throw 25% more in there. But make sure you keep at least half of your shit. Please, God, please. Had I just kept half of my shit, half of it, I would have been able to fucking, have my own place for a year. I would have been able to pay it off for a fucking year, and would have been able to get a new truck. And that would have changed my life right now, and still had, money to trade with. But I let these guys suck me into a fictional narrative with zero evidence, all based on make-believe. And I need you to understand that. Like, if I came up to you and showed you this round white pill with no imprint, no markings, nothing, and I said, hey man, look, for a fee, I can give you these fucking pills right here that will fix any problem in the world for you. Any problem. Guaranteed. And you're like, oh, that sounds great. Do you have any information? Is there any case studies I can see? Nope. I got none of that. I just need you to trust me. Look at it. Doesn't it look like it can change your life? Look at it. Well, there's no imprints. There's no way for me to look it up. You don't need to. I'm telling you right now, this shit, just buy it. Just buy it. It's going to change your life. I swear. Fix any fucking problem you have. That'd be $500. Are you going to fucking hand me that money? Are you? Are you going to hand me that money just because I promised you that? Because I made it sound good or had an elaborate theory behind it? No, you're probably not. So again, ask yourself, how could there possibly be billions of shares shorted into this thing and it still be propped up at 40? How? And if we bought all those billions that kept getting shorted, how are we always like at 80% of, that's all we ever own is 80%? How's that fucking possible? How's it possible? And believe me, I understand this market better than anyone you watch. Anyone. Anybody, especially the guys that never ever pull a fucking chart up, but they're supposed to be tech guys and they don't even use a laptop ever to say anything or go over anything. I promise you, as far as the infrastructure of this motherfucker, how things run and work, the gears, everything, how it's engineered, I understand it. How it's manipulated, I understand. Where its weak spots are, I understand it. I get it. I know how it works. So I know what they can do and can't do. I'm not just out here guessing and throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Like, I get it. And then I use that information to think like they do and do in my head what I think I would do if they tasked me with fixing this problem. Knowing everything I know about this shit. Motherfuckers literally are now like, there's no more shares. So now they have to go to the market makers. Duh, no shit, dude. They've been doing that. And guys like me have been sitting here telling people for a long time, hey, did you guys know market makers can create fucking shares that don't exist? Just create them right then and there. They have that power. 500,000 order comes in, they create them right there, send them on out. Don't have to locate them, nothing. Right on the spot, boom, they exist. Here they are. Take them. That right there should let you know. That alone right there should let you know. This is a game you cannot win. Not right now. Not right now. Not until changes to that shit are made, and those changes are not coming until next year. And those are only the beginning. That's the beginning of changing this infrastructure. The beginning. Citadel's fucking investigation, that shit can take years, man, and it's probably going to. It's good. It needs to happen. But as far as what's going to happen right now, you guys need to understand the game we're playing, that we've been playing all year, is still the same game. The rules have not changed, and they do not change until next year. So that means these guys get to continue doing what they've been doing for the rest of the year. And they're going to. You've got to win with them. Just please, please, please understand that. God, do not do what I did. Please take your profits when you have them. Like I said, you can't even sneeze at taking 3/4 of your profits. Just take 3/4. Leave 25% in to be safe if you think it's going to blow up and run. And then if it does, great, awesome. Throw 25% more back in, but keep half of your shit. Please. Because when this thing goes, like when it goes and then people sell off, if you didn't sell before they start selling, you are going to have a hard fucking time getting out of your positions. Hard fucking time. And then now you just went from 70 back down to fucking 40 in a fucking snap. And just looking dumb. So please, I was here. I was in this. I witnessed and felt the ramifications of not doing that. And trusting these other people that you have no reason to trust. None. They do not have your best interest in mind. Every single one of them. Yeah, I already told you. I'd watch Charlie fucking evolve into a YouTube check catching. He'd look at my merch store. No different than fucking Coors and Trey and all them. No different. He, like I said, used to do great shit. Great work, and put surveys out with questions like he was a teacher, making sure people understood what he was trying to teach them about the market. Stopped all that. And then makes a MOAS prediction for the 12th that completely tanked. So, just understand, guys, like I'm not here to grab or get anything from you. And those of you that have helped me, I'm forever indebted to you and eternally grateful. Especially you, sir. Eric, you already know. I literally wouldn't be sitting at this laptop right now today being able to make this video if it wasn't for you, man. I just want to protect you all. That's it. That's all. That's my end game. I just want to protect you guys from these people that changed my way of thinking, and it caused me harm monetarily. And I don't want it to happen to you all. None of you. So, you know, that's what it is. Just please take your profits. Even if you don't want to take all of it, that's fine. That is fine. But if this shit hits again, you know, just be ready, please. Please, pretty fucking please. Sugar on top, all that shit. Alright, 30 minutes does it. I'm out.